Another UFC card has just ended. UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Fiorot. It was actually a really good card. The main event though was fucking horrendous. Let's just call it what it was. Let's call it spade a spade. Main event wasn't good, but let's talk about the rest of the card first. So we had Angel Pacheco versus Colin Loughran. Now this was actually a really fun fight. I enjoyed this fight. Loughran looked really good, man. Like, maybe this just speaks to maybe Pacheco's level, but Loughran looked fucking really improved. I mean, to be fair to him, he got Taylor Lapierre in his UFC debut on short notice. He was originally meant to fight... Oh my god, who was he even meant to originally fight? It was that gay Italian guy, wasn't it? It doesn't even say. I think he was meant to fight that gay dude. I can't even remember that guy's name off the top of my head right now. He's an Italian guy. Let me just check. Yeah, he was meant to fight Yanis Gamori. I think this is the gay dude. No, I'm thinking of the entirely wrong fucking person. I think the gay dude's the guy Morgan Charrier beat, right? I think he beat the gay dude. Yeah, I think Manolo Sucheki was the gay dude. But anyway, besides that, he was meant to get pretty much an easy opponent, and instead he gets Taylor Lapierre. Like, that's fucking insane. That is a complete turnaround and a half. So he got really fucked over in that situation, but he looked really. Generally, he looked really improved. So I was impressed with what I seen from Colin Loughran. Mixed it up to the body well, good striking improvement. When he got takedowns, he just dominated there. This was just a very one-sided fight. Won every single round. Got a 10-8 in my opinion. I forgot which round it was, but I thought that was a clear 10-8. So yeah, really good performance from Colin Loughran. So congratulations to him. He looked good. He caught out Raul Rosas Jr. That'll be a good fight. I don't think they're going to do that next. But we've got another young guy in this division. How old is Colin Loughran? He's 27 years old, so we've got another young guy in this bantamweight division, so be excited to see what he does. He's a trash talker, I like that out of him. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he does next in his next fight. Then we had Andre Petroski versus Jacob Malkoun. Thank God I picked Jacob Malkoun. I was honestly, before this fight, before I did my predictions, I had an early lean towards Petroski. Luckily I went with Malkoun. Malkoun's good. I know people don't like Malkoun because sometimes his fights are a bit boring, but he looks really improved here. His striking, his boxing's looking really good. It was a weird fucking finish. One of the weirdest KOs you'll ever see. I think it was declared a TKO. Soccer kick to the body though, that was beautiful. Pretty much, fight starts off, Malkoun stumbles him early with a jab. Petroski sort of knocks Malkoun off balance, but I thought Malkoun still won the first, but all the judges gave it to Petroski because of that slip. I think Malkoun did more damage, but it is what it is. Then in the second round, Petroski shoots in, and his head literally goes right to the hip. The hip. He gets KO'd by the hip of Jacob Malkoun. I'm not even fucking kidding. He got hip KO'd by Malkoun, and Malkoun runs in and boots him in the stomach, which is beautiful. It was a beautiful, sick soccer kick. I'm glad he did that. That was fucking awesome. Honestly, I wish people would utilize that more. That fucking running kick to the body was a fucking thing of beauty. And Jacob Malkoun gets his first finish in the UFC. Weird one, but he was winning that fight. He was gonna win. And I mean, he finished it. There was no cheating or anything involved. He clearly won that. So good on Jacob Malkoun, because he probably would have been cut with a loss here. The UFC don't like him, but he's just good. 8-3, should be 9-2. Should be 10-1 actually, if we're going to be honest. He should have probably beat Brendan Allen. I think honestly, him not getting that Brendan Allen fight, getting that decision was probably the best thing for his career though. So I think he's going to rapidly improve. I think Jacob Malkoun is going to be the Bilal Muhammad of middleweight, which I know doesn't sound like a good thing, but I think he's going to have a resurgence where he really figures out his striking, his takedown defense and everything. And I think he can actually do some things, because he is good for middleweight standards. Obviously, I don't think Malkoun would be able to succeed the way he does it like welterweight. But middleweight, he could actually probably go on a run. I could see him improving his boxing. He trains his boxing a lot. People don't know this, but Malkoun started out as a boxer. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, good win for Malkoun. I guess we'll see him at UFC 305 more than likely. Then we have Ibu Aslan versus Anton Takali. Anton Takali was looking really good in this fight. He really was. He was landing a lot of good strikes, a lot of good uppercuts. He was hurting Ibu. He was closing his eye. He closed his eye. He made Ibu Aslan look like Anthony Hernandez. It was really weird. Like, it was freaky. But he was beating him up. He was really putting a beating on him. And then he gets caught with a big shot. Doesn't get knocked out cold, but does get dropped really weirdly. He staggers a little bit, and the referee stops it. I'm not going to say it was an early stoppage, but I mean, he could have kept that going a little longer, but it is what it is. You got to feel for Anton here. He's going to get cut. There's no two ways about it. He's 0-4 in the UFC. He's definitely getting cut. But yeah, that's the end of the pleasure, man. Aslan didn't really impress me too much in this fight. His takedown defense did look good, but he was getting pieced up on the feet by Takali. But Takali did give Vitor Petrino a tough fight too, so maybe Takali's just like one of those weird fighters. Then we have Dennis Bazooka versus Conor Matthews. Dennis Bazooka, I picked him to win this fight. I like clean sweeped until the Werner Jandiroba fight, and then that's when I went on a bit of a losing streak. But good performance here by Dennis Bazooka, the best performance. You know, Conor Matthews, respect for the dude, but he's a can crusher. I think he's going Dana White Contender Series is the only guy with a positive record he's beat, or maybe there was another guy, but he's a can crusher. He beat Jay Ellis, for fuck's sake. Then I think he beat a 0-9 guy and another 0-something guy. Like, he's just beat really bad opponents. It's actually crazy he's in the UFC, but makes Dennis Bazooka look like a championship contender when he just definitely isn't. But still, respect to him. He gets the fight done. But yeah, Bazooka knocks him out, dominated the fight. He was winning every round. Then we had Julio Arce, I should say, versus Herbert Burns. Pretty dominant performance here by Julio. Didn't really do much in the first. He would mix it up to the body. Herbert Burns kicked him in the nuts like back-to-back times in the first round, so he lost a point there. But Julio Arce, very smart. Would stuff the takedowns and then hit to the body, and then Herbert would gas. Herbert's also chinny. Dropped him once, dropped him again, and then the ref just stopped it. I thought it was a good stoppage. I mean, Burns would have taken a lot more damage that he didn't need to take. Then we had Werner Jandiroba versus Lupi Godinez. I thought Lupi Godinez won this. I'm not going to lie. I thought she did more damage. Seemed like her shots were more damaging. I thought she stole the first two rounds. I had actually seen someone put up 2018 to Jandiroba, and I was actually like fucking furious when I seen that. But I guess I was wrong because they gave it to Jandiroba. I don't know if I agree with that scoring criteria of MMA being damaged, but women's MMA does seem to have a different scoring criteria than males MMA. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Werner Jandiroba gets the fight done somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but that's what happened. Then we had Nate Landwehr versus Jamal Lemmers. I thought this was a nightmare stylistic matchup for Nate Landwehr, and I stand by that. Jamal Lemmers like dropped him immediately into the fight. You know, we can't forget that. He did drop him immediately in the fight. And he was looking like he was styling on Nate Landwehr a bit, but now Nate Landwehr has like really deceptive power. I think also we're going to realise maybe Jamal Lemmers' chin just isn't the greatest either. I mean, he's been chinned 3 times now. Yeah, like knocked out cold as well. But yeah, honestly, great fight, really good fight. It wasn't long, but it was a Nate the Train performance, brother. He looked good. Got him with an uppercut and knocked him out cold. I didn't expect Nate Landwehr to knock him out like that. So, you know, shout out Nate the Train. Always love to see Nate the Train win, and he got it done with style points. So congratulations to Nate the Train, brother. Nate the Train in the USA. Then we had Chidin Nchikwi versus Reese McKee. Awful, stinky shit fight. This fight sucked. It really wasn't good. And I blame Reese McKee for this. I have no problem with Reese McKee as a man. I'm sure he's a good guy, but what the fuck was his game plan going into this fight? He was just clinching against the fence and not doing anything. That was it. He would clinch against the fence And he'd be like, huh, well, that's me done for the day. Like, that's it. He's like, well, that's the round done. Like, does this fucking guy realize the scoring criteria of MMA isn't who can clinch their opponent? A single fucking punch in that second round in the clinch. He didn't throw a single fucking punch. He was holding him for dear life, not throwing a single fucking punch. I don't know how a judge had this for Reece McKee. That's one of the worst decisions. One of the worst split decisions I've ever seen. All Reece McKee was doing was holding him. He didn't even throw like pitter-patter shots. Nothing. Just held him. Chitty would actually land elbows off the break. He would actually knee him. Like, Chitty did so much more damage. Even in the first round, he was kicking up his leg. He hurt his leg. He hurt the leg of Reece McKee. Like, it was clear Chitty won this fight. Yeah, I don't know. The judges are fucking stupid. I don't know how you can give Reece McKee this fight. But luckily, Chitty gets the win for two 30-27s. I don't disagree with the 30-27. Reece McKee did no damage. In the last 2 rounds, he landed 5 significant strikes for both rounds. Shocking performance. Then we had Bill Algeo versus Kyle Nelson. It's 2024, and Kyle Nelson's on a 3-fight winning streak in the UFC. I can't believe I'm saying that either, but yeah, Kyle Nelson is on a 3-fight winning streak. He's on a 4-fight streak of not losing as well because he got a draw, which is crazy. I really thought this guy was on the fucking tail end of his career. I thought he was about to get cut after losing to Joe Herbert, but for some reason the UFC gave him another fight and it worked out for him because look, here he is. He's still in the UFC. And, you know, you could arguably give the guy a ranked opponent. Like, that's not even a joke. You could arguably give Kyle Nelson a ranked opponent. The stoppage was a bit early. It was a bit premature. But I can understand where the referee's coming from. Bill Algero's equilibrium was gone. He was wobbling all over the place. So I can understand it where it comes from, but I feel like you gotta let him fight a bit longer, but I'm not gonna be upset about that. It's not a horrible stoppage. Then we had Sultan Ruzabaya versus Cedric Dumas. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like Cedric Dumas. The guy's a scumbag. He beats women. He's been arrested like 14 fucking times. The guy's never gonna change. He's a shit human being. But he got fucked over royally in this fight. Like, you can't even lie. He clearly got eye poked. His eye was pissing out blood. But Ruzabayev, he was smart. He didn't let the referee stop it. He had killer instinct, which I respect. It's pretty based of him. He just runs at him when he tries to get a stoppage. Like, when like someone gets eye poked, they hold their eye. Fucking Ruzabayev just runs at the cunt and fucking clips him, drops him, and just finishes him off. I love that. That was amazing by Ruzabayev. I think more fighters need to do that. You know, if your opponent's like doing that, you got to get the cheap shots in. I know it's a bit of a dog act move to do, but it's the fight game. It's a fucking brutal business. I would be doing shit like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're fighting for your life in there. You know, if this was on the street, Dumas would probably just fucking shoot you. So, and punch you in the back of the head. So I respect Ruzabayev for doing that. It was pretty based, but yeah, he gets it done. Then we had Chris Weidman versus Bruno Silva. I said this on my prediction video. I fucking regret not picking Chris Weidman. I said it, man. I said it. Chris Weidman, he can really win this fight. Because Bruno Silva, when he fights grapplers, is the worst fighter of all time. Bruno Silva can't beat grapplers to save his life. Gets taken down in the first where he gets dominated. Doesn't do anything of note. Second round, he gets beat up badly. Not beat up badly, but he was winning the second round. But then towards the end of the round, Chris Weidman lands a shot that sort of wobbles him, lands some big shots to the body, mixes it up top. I think he steals the round with that little flurry. And in the third round, he drops him, beats him up, but it wasn't eye poke. There wasn't eye poke in there. I do think he actually did get dropped because it did seem like when he was throwing that that looping shot, it did hit the ear, so maybe he was like a bit of a knockdown, but he also did just fall face first because he got poked in the eye, double eye pokes. It was a bit of a weird fight. Like, Chris Weidman probably should have had a point taken, if we're going to be honest, but he was winning that fight either way. They overturned it to a technical decision, which I think is the right call, because Chris Weidman was still winning this fight. It was a dirty fight, but he gets it done. Bruno Silva, I don't think he should be cut, but just don't ever give this guy a grappler again, because this guy can't fight a grappler to save his life, man. It is rough, though, for a 3-fight losing streak. Yeah, poor guy, man. I hope they don't cut him. Bruno Silva's really fun to watch though, and he did get a bit of a hard shake of things in this fight. But he is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 4 and 5 in the UFC. They might cut him, which would be unfortunate. But still, it is what it is. Good performance by Chris Weidman, man. Gets it done. I should have fucking picked him. I should have picked him, but I didn't. Then we had Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley. This was a sad one. This was one of the saddest fights I've ever seen, man. Vicente Luque, he's washed. He's done, man. I don't like to say fighters are done, but like Vicente Luque, he's done, man. There's no two ways about it. He is done. Like there's no way. Prime Vicente Luque knocks this guy out. I don't think Buckley's that good. I still don't think Buckley's that good. I'll stand by that. He did get the win here, but I still don't think Buckley's that good. I just think Vicente Luque's done at this point. Ever since being KO'd by Jeff Neal, he just hasn't been the same. Even against Dos Anjos, he was a lot more tentative. Yeah, it's crazy the guy's fighting after that brain bleed, but you know, Buckley gets it done. I was hoping he was going to have a call out, but he didn't, which was really disappointing. But you know, congratulations to Vicente Luque. I mean, sorry, to Jesus Christ, man. To Joaquin Buckley. I really didn't expect him to win, so congratulations to him. I guess it is better. He's younger. He's new to the welterweight weight class. He hasn't fought all these guys that Vicente Luque already has fought. But it is still very disappointing to see a legend like Vicente Luque. It was one of the most fun back and forth fighters. The guy who would never quit. He pretty much quit there, man. Like, he could have pushed off. He could have tried to get up, but he just sort of gave up. Like, I don't want to say that about a fighter, but he really, like, especially a fighter like Vicente Luque, who's a blood and guts fighter, but he really did just give up. He sort of like cowered away like that, and he was just eating shots. He wasn't trying to kick off him. He wasn't trying to get up, throw. He wasn't trying to get Joaquin Buckley in his guard or anything. He just sort of gave up. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know if we see Luque fight again, but if he does, I don't know who the fuck you give him. Maybe Alex Morono, someone like that. But Joaquin Buckley will be ranked though, so good for him. Then we had the main event between Fiorot and Blanchfield. Blanchfield had no answers for Fiorot. Pretty much, he couldn't get the fight to the ground. Just like blitzing. Fiorot was actually stronger than Blanchfield. She picked her up, slammed her, almost got guillotined. But pretty much, man, Fiorot just dominated her. I don't agree with the 50-45. I thought you could have given the last 2 rounds to Blanchfield, at the very least the 4th round. But all the judges gave it 50-45, which I found interesting, but I don't know. Fiorot won that fight clearly though, so at least the right winner got it, but I still think 50-45 is a bit of an outrageous scorecard. But you know, Fiorot looked good. She looked good in this fight. She dominated. Blanchfield shown to be very one-dimensional in this fight. Her striking needs rapid improvement. She's 24 years old. She can improve, but like, showed she was a bit of a fish out of water when she can't get that takedown. But still, good performance by Manon Fiorot. She probably gets to the next title fight. It'll be interesting to see how she does. She's 34, so you know, tick tock. She only just turned 34 though, so we'll see if that 35 curse works for women's MMA. Actually, how old is? Who the fuck is that? Raquel Pennington. How old is she? She's 35. She won the belt. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But anyway, that was UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Fiorot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Good card, bad main event. Peace.